What's up guys, Roscoe here, and we're back with episode 2 of Y and 5 with Roscoe, and today we're talking about the IceAge Elevate spindle. Thank you for the support on the first episode. Got a lot of great feedback on the Fox IQS video. Now we're gonna talk about these spindles, why I choose to run them, what makes them good, why they could possibly help you, yada, yada, yada. We're gonna put 5 minutes on the clock. I'm going to ramble. We'll see how long this takes me. I'm not sure if this is a professional way to shoot a video, me sitting on the ground here, but I have a feeling that you guys don't care that much. So 5 minutes on the clock and let's get into it. So front ends are a tricky topic sometimes when it comes to aftermarket because there's lots of different routes you can go. There's lots of aftermarket A-arm companies, this, that, yada, suspension, all of it can get a little bit tricky. IceAge's approach here is actually relatively simple. What they've done is the Elevate kit is actually just a spindle. You don't need A-arms. As you can see, I'm running the stock React front end on this Chaos here. Now, they designed it to be paired with a Chaos for the best benefits and, performance. But you don't need a Chaos to run this. You could put this on any Pro RMK from 2016 newer. So gives you a lot of options. If you're just looking to upgrade your old sled, this is also a great solution. They do recommend if you are going to just put these on a Pro RMK that you do the whole package. You can get the Chaos profile rails from IceAge and adjust your limiter strap and change the bolt position, and they cover it all in directions. And if you want to do that whole thing to your Pro RMK, essentially turning your Pro RMK into a Chaos. And this just kind of tops it off with these Elevate spindles. Now, what is different about these spindles compared to stock? So these spindles actually sit up an inch higher. So they're a taller spindle in the length from the ski bolt to the bottom A-arm. So it's not changing any of the A-arm geometry or the way that the shock is or any of that. It's leaving it in that stock mounting position, which handles really well in the React front end. That's why we like it. Also, they're machined billet spindles. They're very strong. They're not going to fail. And they're bomber. And you guys know how I ride. I need bomber things to hold up to the abuse that I put them through. We've seen that, raising the front end, that was the big difference between the Pro chassis and the Axis chassis. So the 2013 RMK to the 2015 RMK, and then the Axis chassis, one of the big changes was that the chassis was raised. So we still don't feel that we've found the limit there. A lot of us riders would agree with that statement that, narrower, taller, as we kind of tune these sleds in and get comfortable on them, they are more capable that way. So this adds to that, giving you that extra inch. It does a lot of things. So it obviously keeps your belly pan, your A-arms, all of this stuff up out of the snow more, and that will help you in deep snow, of course. And then also on holding an edge, a side hill, it is essentially taking the ability to panel out of the equation a little bit more. Now, this chassis does a pretty good job of not paneling out, but this takes it to another level in a way. And I'm really excited to see its performance in the springtime when it really matters that you are holding an edge and not paneling out, because we know that springtime snow, when you're trying to side hill and you lose an edge and you panel out and then you go into elevator city and you don't want to be there, that's not what we want. So this, adding that height, is going to allow that ski to sit in the snow a little bit better, be a little bit better planted, and hold an edge a little bit better as well. It also is going to change the geometry to the skid a little bit. So that's why they recommend going with the Chaos package in the rear skid. So it's what it's been designed for and maximized to. But you can see that the way that this snowmobile sits compared to my other snowmobile or a stock Pro RMK, that the front end is up a little bit and it changes the angle of that track. So what it also does is it's not allowing the snow to put as much pressure on that front track shock. So it's going to change the way that the sled reacts slightly with the front track shock. Now, if you do decide that you want to get these spindles and you're wondering about shock stuff, we really haven't. I'm running the same pressures, and that's kind of the conversations that I've had with IceAge as well, is they're running similar pressures. You can put a little bit more in your front track shock. That's really the only thing I've done, is added a little bit more in the front track shock, which, because I wanted a fun snowmobile, I talked about that in my Fox video. It makes it a fun snowmobile, but then I can still go get the job done. So another thing handling wise that bringing the front end up a little bit is going to do is it's going to give you a little bit better flickability in a sense. The sled's going to react quicker to your inputs because it is sitting up higher, and you want the center of gravity on a snowmobile is a really interesting topic, and this is changing it a little bit, right? It's bringing the whole front end up. Now, we want a low center of gravity, but at the same time, we want that snowmobile, we want the center of gravity to be in between our legs, and we want to be able to maneuver that snowmobile well. So this is a nice solution that hasn't seemed to change how the snowmobile handles in any negative sense for me. I have ridden it quite a bit, and I've been thoroughly impressed with how it feels and some of the changes to it. Now, I have ridden front ends like this in the past. Maybe you've seen like the Skins front end, but the difference is that the Skins front end is an entire front end. It's $1,200. These are cheaper, they're easier. If you bend an arm, you just put a stock arm back on. So there are some advantages to this in that sense, and the handling characteristics are really impressive from the Elevate so far. So that's kind of the gist of it. I hope I covered some of the questions. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really is standing out so far, but it's a good upgrade if you guys are looking to do it. I would recommend it for sure, and especially if you guys do have a pre-850. So if you have an 800, a 16, a 17, and 18, before they put the better spindles on the axes or the RMKs, I would recommend putting these on, because the previous spindles you could actually break sometimes. So this is a good strong spindle, and yeah. So far, so good. Excited to try them out in spring. That's gonna be good. If you're a technical rider, I recommend it for you. But in a nutshell, it's a great idea and change, and it's not a drastic change. So your snowmobile is not gonna be wildly different, but it is going to add a few little things here or there that you might find that you like, and I certainly like them. So hope you guys enjoyed this. If you wanna go watch the YN5 for the Fox IQS, the video is going to be here, and then also make sure you guys are subscribed. Appreciate it, and I'll see you guys soon.